Alright, hello there everybody, it's Market Michael here, back with another video, back with some information. Okay, so what we have today, ladies and gentlemen, is some information. Okay, we got crude invents, we got across the board declines on inventories. So we see here we have surges in the Brent and oil. So surge since last night's across the board bullish API report. DOE showed that US crude production rose to a new record high. It confirmed API's draw across all components implied by WTI discounts to Brent of greater than $5 a barrel. Domestic refinery runs are expected to push higher. Wow. So crude was supposed to, well, this was above expectations, this was below expectations, but both we're all minus, so we're all drawn back here. We could see this clearly in the chart going down, the supplies inventory drawdowns. As rig counts continue to rise, US crude production is accelerating, rising 15K to yet another new record high. They're willingly over-tightening this market. An oil economist at consultant Cornerstone, it's not self-defeating if you are looking for is a little extra money. If the idea is to get a ton of money in the door now, then they're probably doing the right thing. They're happy to see inventories continue to go down, to see prices of $70 or $80. In the end, it's about revenues. The question is, at what point do they become uncomfortable with high prices? So there you go. There you go, folks. So with gasoline going up, this is gonna put bullish pressure on this stuff here. Let's look at this gasoline. Going up there. I don't know if this is I don't know how gasoline blend stock RBOB. Let's just check it out real quick. No. Let me let's look in here. Oh. /RB. So these gasoline futures are creeping up again. I don't know how strong this is. Let's look at a longer term chart. Let's look at like a monthly chart. See some long term trends here. So we're not at the peak yet, but it looks like we could continue to go higher. You know, we are peaking off the top, the CCI, but this is a long-term chart. I expect this to continue to do so. Interesting. Alright. I just wanted to see if I can get some crude futures on here, but I just don't see any. Yeah, I guess not. Okay. Well, you know what that means. If it's more costly to heat everything, more costly for gas, more costly for transportation, that's just going to generally raise prices. So, again, you know, we see crude oil, we see the Brent at 73 right now, continuing to rise. We see crude oil, WTI, continue to rise on price based off of like drawing supplies. Now let's go ahead, pop in the DJX. Now, I made a great prediction yesterday saying that today was going to be a doji day and a flat day, which it absolutely has been. You look at the average, you look at the low, you look at the highs, and we are, you know, we'd be somewhere in the middle. So average it out, we're in the middle, and that is right now we're on the upper side of that doji. We're getting a big thick candle, but that's okay. We see whoops, this is a monthly, so let's go ahead and pull up. What are we looking at? A minute chart, daily chart. Let's pull up a 10-minute. Get an accurate reading of the here and now, what's happening. It looks like here we've had a brief run up. Looks like Dow just can't handle it anymore. Dow's flat. NASDAQ, it's topped off, but we look like it wants to break out here, and it possibly could break out. Check here. Look at here, guys. We could possibly break out. We're almost at the highs. We're most likely going to tag the highs, if not pass them. We're failing here. We still could pass the highs. I don't know. You know, if this just continues, we could kind of see, look, we've bounced off this tricks line, not went under it. So that's a bullish sign. You know, this 10-minute doesn't tell the whole story of what that red means, so we're getting a spike up actually. Just continue to see this push above. We're fighting in this overbought territory. CCI is bouncing off the top. You know, eventually this is going to come down whether we hit a new high or not. And look at the flatness of the histogram. This is certainly a flat day. I don't expect big swings in either direction today. I do expect, however, tomorrow is the selling day. Tomorrow is going to be the selling day. Now let's go ahead, pull up like hour charts perhaps, because this pattern is not yet okay. So you see this transition on this 4-hour. We get two 4-hour candles in a day. Let's just go ahead and pull up 30 minutes here. We're all getting back some life here, getting new highs from yesterday. On this 30-minute, we do see an increase, but I don't know. We should not go higher. If we go higher, that is an indication that we will go higher, but so I told us we would definitely find resistance here. What could happen is if we do get some explosive activity today, what we could see is a run up and then a quick run down, and then find equilibrium at the medium, and then, you know, that's going to lead. That's not going to be good. we're still negative on a daily for comp. So we're still not out of the woods. We still haven't broken any highs. We've just been on this downtrend, uptrend rather. So when we break above, if we break above 7,338, so let's say 7,350, you know, that's gonna, we could double top that area and then proceed to decline, reduce in strength. Now we are overbought in this 30-minute, and they're pushing stocks higher. Let's check out the 10-year. Now we're getting some selling in the 10-year, which is pretty interesting. I don't want to pull it up, but we're getting some selling in the 10-year, so it's raising yields, and we are coming back up in yield. The yield for the 10 to 30 is, I've never seen it this low in my life. The, you know, difference. So again, we are seeing across the board, we are seeing today's gonna be a transition candle. And we're peaking out with that RSI. We're peaking out everywhere. We're peaking out across the board on the indicators. And you could tell because we're not advancing fast. We had an exhaustion gap. And look here. The CCI is absolutely spiked out. Everything's spiked out, but we're continuing to rise. This can only mean that we can't go too high. And without resetting the indicators, which would mean we get some sort of downturn, or at least sideways. You see here, we went sideways, but we've reset that MACD. And you notice, check out these two MACD moves. We had two positive MACD moves and no negative moves. So, and we get this tiny MACD move. And again, we're bouncing off the top here. I just don't see anything significant. Look here. On this 15-minute, we haven't even broke through, and the CCI is spiked out to pretty high levels. So, yeah, we got higher highs, but let's see where we retrace when we take a downturn. But even still, this says we're like the next move is going to be an uptick. But how can we uptick when the CCI is up here? We'd have to take a sharp turn down and then a slow rise up. Let's check out this 1 minute. Completely bouncing on this overbought level. And we do see strength diminishing, but we had an increase at this very moment. You know, I really don't expect much for today. If anything, I do expect us to go up that 50 more points in the comp. You know, expect us to go up a tiny bit, but at the end of the day, we're probably going to have to retrace those gains. You know, we can't, this isn't sustainable. This is not sustainable. We are nearing the highs, and this is not sustainable. So we are almost at the boiling point, guys. Look at the RSI. This is on a 30-minute on these two charts. Look at the RSI. We are boiling here at the top. Boiling. Look at how red. That is red hot. The pan is red hot. We are absolutely boiling. And we are approximately, you know, 26 points up on the day, but we did have like a 40-point rally from the bottom here. So, you can't just continue to go up. You can't. It's impossible. So, eventually we're going to have to come back down. Predicting daily MACD downturns it's not foolish, but remember how long it took me? I kept saying, go long, boys, go long, and we were still down there. Well, that's pretty much what's happening up here at this point. It's now the reverse. I kept saying, look, whoa, it just, looked like it was receding, looked like it was getting better, looked like, when I saw this, I thought we were good, thought we were going back in the green. But look here, it took a little bit more time than we thought. With that being said, I'm not sure if stocks can handle this CCI spiking up to this point. They can't handle it. They can't handle it. So what's going to happen is either we'll see an eventual decline here and we'll end up with a DOJI, which is most likely the scenario, or we'll continue to increase and bounce off the CCI, continue to increase on the relative strength indicator, or we will decrease the CCI, decrease MACD histo, start to pull back, but then do another run up, which is possible. And that's the most likely to get higher highs. Right now, let's go ahead and look at like dailies for everything. Again, the CCI is spiked out. Look at the indicators at these levels, guys. They're spiked out. And again, so I'm going to give you levels here, the 76%. So we got 2,750 for the S&P resistance. And Dow resistance will be around 25,410-ish. So this level, we're not even close to that with the Dow, and the Dow's already trying to back down. Look at the CCI. The Dow's backing down more than the rest of the indices. So, but look, we're about to touch them. We're touching these lines. We are in the 0.8. So, if this happens to continue, we are going to break through this tricks line, which I thought we were going to turn down at because of all the other factors, but it looks like we are a little too close. Judging by that information, we might turn around. It depends. I would like to see us come down here and make this daily MACD decrease. That's what would make me happy. If we start to decrease, because look at here, look at these signs. Let's go ahead. Let's look at a 30-minute. Okay, again, we see the CCI spike. We see everything spiking out. And we see it's we're trying to get into this uptrend, but we're already freaking at the moon. We are already overbought. This doesn't seem right. And this could very well be, you know, the tip of the iceberg. And again, if we stay at this level the entire day, then that is a wild sign. Okay, look at this hour chart. What it looks like we're doing on this hour chart is going out for another run, but I don't know how that's possible. Look, guys, look, see how we're flattening and we're not decreasing anymore? What should have happened is a continual decrease and a reduction in the RSI. But we're completely overbought, which we could clearly see we're overbought, right? You can even tell. Look at this momentum. We're cresting, and we popped above it. So we had a bounce off the 61%, so we're likely to go higher, but I don't think we're going to go... All right, first of all, there's no more room for us to go. We're overbought, period. With that being said, once we go as far as we can go off this bounce, we're going to have to go ahead and test that bounce at the end of the day. And that's going to be the real test. So let's wrap this up here, guys. Got a 21-minute video. I am thinking this is an interesting day, a fun-filled day of wildness, really. Look at the Dow. Oh man, that's such a bad candle. Let's go to an hour chart. But let's wrap this up at the same time. Again, check this out, guys. The Dow wasn't strong enough. We are backing down. So this looks like it's confirming my beliefs. We have backed down here. Look at that. Let's just do a 10-minute. Whoa, look at that. Too spike, too soon, you're done. You know, we're too high. I knew we were gonna get a DOJI today. So, you know, wherever these markets go, I think we're gonna stay in this range. I don't think we're gonna crash yet, but you know, once the markets realize that the direction can't go up anymore, the only place to go is down. You know, we're gonna end up failing this 50%, 61. You know, this 24,700 level. You know, we're gonna end up hitting this 38%er. You know, unless this just continues to trace back and go up, I don't know. It's a possibility, but we're gonna have to see because we're just overbought straight up in every way, shape, and form. Look at this 3-minute. Yeah, we're coming down. We're gonna come down, guys. All right, so looks like we're just gonna stay in this range for now. You know, we could get a lower low. It all depends. This gasoline thing is, you know, it's bullish for really crude. So it's really bullish for crude stocks. And the article said that, you know, Trader Whispers already knew that last night. So looks like it's old news, and that's that. I don't really follow crude or oil. I really just trade NASDAQ. I look at NASDAQ, but I also examine S&P and Dow because they're all interlinked. And it's very interesting to compare them because, for instance, the Dow moves much slower than the Nasdaq, and S&P moves similar to the Nasdaq, but it's also different in a sense. Like, for instance, it broke the new high a day right out of the bat, where the Nasdaq did not. Very interesting. So we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much, guys. Good luck trading the rest of the day. Good luck with all this stuff. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you guys have a good lunch. I will see you around 2 o'clock to look at the beige book of New York Fed Chairman. So thank you very much. Please like and subscribe, and see you later.